Is Dr. Jordan Peterson really a neo-Nazi? Now, before I dive into this topic, I just want to explain to you, if you're watching this channel for the first time, this channel is for people who have big dreams and lofty goals. I've always been a big dreamer, but over the past few years, I finally realized what I was doing wrong, why I didn't see any results, and I've actually had tremendous traction over the past few years. So if you want to listen to someone who's not just repeating what all the other thought leaders are saying over and over again, please subscribe to this channel. Now let's talk about Dr. Jordan Peterson. He basically made it into mainstream when he was interviewed by Kathy Newman, who seemed to have all these preconceived notions, biases, if you want, against him. Now, to be perfectly honest, this video is not about whether or not Jordan Peterson is in fact a neo-Nazi. This video is about social media and mainstream media and how they work today. Now, why did you click this video? Did you honestly expect me to present you with evidence that Jordan Peterson is in fact indisputably a neo-Nazi? What I did was, I was watching one of his talks, one of his lectures that are put online, and he was explaining something, doing like this, and then I just realized, oh my god, it totally looks like he's doing a Sieg Heil with his right arm right now. I cannot resist this temptation to grab a screenshot of this frame and put a swastika next to it. Now, how can I even defend doing so? And before I explain that, I just want to say, my apologies, Dr. Jordan Peterson. I'm trying to prove a point here. I'm not in any way trying to insinuate that you are in fact a neo-Nazi, and it doesn't really matter. But I want to talk about why you clicked this video as opposed to all the other videos you could have clicked. Were you clicking it hoping to get some new information on this channel, or were you hoping to enjoy a nice, heated conflict? I'm guessing the latter. There might be other reasons. If you clicked it for another reason, please feel free to tell me in the comments below. But I really want to talk about how the world as of today works. Now, the big battle that's being fought every single day in this world today, right in front of our eyes, and we even take part in it, is the battle for our attention. Now, back in the good old days, most people got their information from newspapers. And you could pretty much choose, so do you want the conservative newspaper or the working class newspaper? But you only had so many choices, and and the news you got was pretty much all tailored to fit into the worldview you already had. Now these days, even big established media, but especially social media, and people trying to make it on these social media platforms, such as myself, we all need to follow the rules of the game. And the rules of the game are, there are so many things presented to us, and they're all competing to get your attention, and my attention, and everybody's attention. And the more controversial something sounds, the more inclined people are to click on it, the more ad money that media platform or that person or entity or organization or company will make. So it's really very, very facilitating for a climate where, the criteria of objectivity in the news, that's over. Doesn't work like that anymore. These days, it's all about stealing your attention and then giving you another option. Maybe this can get his attention once he's done with Jordan Peterson, right? And I just want to be absolutely clear here. Now, I don't agree with everything Jordan Peterson says. I like him. I think he does make some very valuable points that are, generally speaking, have been overlooked by most people, but I certainly don't agree with everything he says. Now, how much is there to gain for me by keep spending hours, tens of hours, possibly even hundreds of hours, looking at videos with people talking about Jordan Peterson? Honestly, people are stealing my attention, and they are stealing your attention as well. If you're watching something, and once you're done watching it, if you're not smarter once you're done watching it or reading it, you should have not watched it or read it in the first place. Let me just repeat that. Every single time your attention is directed, or rather misdirected, by someone, and there's almost always someone with a financial interest in the other end, directing your attention towards their thing, their news story, their controversial video of some sort. But unless they actually offered you something of value, if you're not smarter or have at least one more piece of knowledge after having watched that video or read that article, you should not have done so in the first place. Especially not if you have big dreams. If you have big dreams, you should be pursuing them right now. Now, it could be said that this video is of course an exception, surprise, but I'm a little biased, so don't judge me too hard on that. But if you haven't learned anything by watching this video, you actually should not have watched this video. That is actually the truth. But most people in this space, and by this space I mean the entire internet, are competing to steal your attention because your attention is worth money. And I'm no exception to that, but I do have some moral principles, and one of those moral principles tells me that if I cannot give you a single piece of information that has value to you, I do not put a video or an article out. I need there to be some sort of substance in what I'm talking about, and I really think there is substance. I really think you should ask yourself, why did you click this video? Now, I'm not saying I'm not a victim to this. I am, but I've become very aware over the past few years just how good these algorithms online have become. When I go on YouTube, I think YouTube is the prime example of this. When I go on YouTube and I watch a video about something that I choose. This is something, maybe I Google a topic and I'm led to this video. I'm like, okay, I know this person, or maybe I don't, but I think this video has something of value to me, so I'm gonna watch it. But whenever I'm done watching that video, I'm presented with, new videos, and I am always amazed by how great YouTube's algorithm has become of predicting what I would like. He would probably like this. And yes, there's always something that, yes, this is actually something that would interest me. Now, I've developed some systems as to how to deal with this. For instance, I download the videos to my phone, and whenever I drive in my car, then I listen to them. Why? So I don't want to waste any time on it. And that's the thing, but I always, whenever I open a new tab with a new video or a new article or whatever, I always ask myself, hey, Asker, wake up. Is this something that will bring me closer to my long-term goals and dreams? And if the answer is no, I close down that tab again. Now, just to give you an example of how this works, I just read an article in The Guardian, and the headline reads, "How dangerous is Jordan B. Peterson, the right-wing professor who hid a hornet's nest?" Just look at how manipulative that question is coined. How dangerous is Jordan Peterson? So it's already understood that he's dangerous. The only question left is to determine how dangerous. And also, they just call him a right-wing professor. I know that he doesn't see himself as a right-wing professor. I certainly think it's debatable whether he is in the first place. But these people have no honor. Or at least that's one interpretation. The other interpretation is that they simply follow the rules of the game as they have come to be because of the technology that we've developed and the current state that it's in. And that's actually extremely important to comprehend, because if you went to school, and of course you went to school, but if you studied business or whatever you studied, you've learned certain standards for how a paper that you turn in can look. You cannot be overly biased. You have to at least try to remain sort of objective. You cannot just cherry pick your facts and throw them in there. But if you want attention on modern social media or any media, these days you have to break pretty much all of those golden rules and standards that you learned. Think about how you spend your time, how your attention is being stolen, and also think about if you want to be a successful entrepreneur in this world, you need to take advantage of these new rules of the game, because these are the new rules of the game, whether you like it or not. So how can you utilize that in a manner that you can defend to yourself from a moral point of view, but also something that will give you traction? You cannot put a video out on a topic that's already covered extensively and expect people to watch that video if it doesn't have a catchy or even better, controversially sounding headline. And again, apologies, this video has nothing to do with Jordan Peterson, or very little at least, but I really just wanted to point your attention towards the fact that everyone is competing to steal your attention all the goddamn time. And if you're not aware of that, they will succeed and you won't. And that's the main takeaway here. If you just sit back and let yourself be entertained in every single available minute you have, you're not gonna make it. Your dreams and long-term goals are not gonna be realized. Now, I'm gonna talk a lot more about this topic, this general topic of how to go from an idea in your mind, a dream, a vague, ethereal dream, and to go to a point where you can actually make it materialize. This is something you do. And I am going to give you a lot of great advice on how to do that, because I've been doing it myself for quite some time now, and it's working out really well. So if you're interested in that, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also press the little bell icon to not miss any videos I do. And number two, again, apologize to Dr. Jordan Peterson. I didn't mean to insinuate that you are in fact affiliated with neo-Nazis. I have no reason to believe that you are whatsoever. Thanks for watching New Money. Cheers.